Hello. Locked and loaded. Talking about dating tonight. Hey, Crystal. Hey, Eddie. All right, so we're going to give it a few minutes, let a few more people join, and then we'll get to the good stuff, all right? Get your questions ready. You got questions, I got answers. The way it works around here is, just so you know, if it's your first time, first of all, I'm Gina Hendrix. I've been a matchmaker since 2008. Most of my clients, not all, but many, are billionaires, celebrities, definitely multimillionaires at minimum. Why? Because it's just a better business. It allows me to be very, very picky about the men I work with. And I think that's the key to matchmaking, you know. You got to be really picky and careful about the people that you work with, because it can turn ugly really fast if you make the wrong decisions and you take on a client that's like, oh, hideous. So I'm really picky about my clients, picky about the people I find for my clients. I'm in the picky business, basically. So, yeah, I've been doing this since 2008. So the way it works around here is, if you want to ask a question, which I know you do, just tell me your name, tell me your question. Tell me your name, tell me your question, because you know who I am and I want to know who I'm talking to. And you can ask me anything and I may or may not answer it. But it's always going to be honest, okay? Haley, how are you? Yes, I do coaching. In fact, actually, thank you for reminding. Just tonight is the last night. I only am doing this for my TikTok people because I love my TikTok people. So I have 2 spots left in my fall session to level up my ladies. It's called Level Up Your Love Life. And I have 2 spots left. The full price, full disclosure, because I'm all about full disclosure, is $2,200. But currently the pre-sign up price is $1,800. And tonight, to fill these 2 last spots, with the code TikTok in all caps, we'll put the link in here. I'm giving you $300 off. So you get the $2,200 coaching, 8 weeks with me, which is so fun and game changing for you ladies. So I level you up and you get it for $1,500 tonight if you want to take these last 2 slots. It is truly a game changer. So if you've watched my videos, can you imagine getting that in person? Well, via Zoom for 8 weeks, surrounded by like-minded ladies. It's crazy and it's fun. So, okay, so $300 off tonight. I'm going to fill these last 2 spots. Also, if you like my stuff, if you enjoy me, share this thing, because I'm so close to 100,000 followers, and it would be amazing if I hit 100,000 followers tonight during this live, right? All right, so let's do this. I'm Kristen, 35-year-old nurse from New Jersey. Are you looking to pick girls to match with your clients? I get that question all the time. We are constantly scouting women for my clients, okay? And I'm going to let you guys know when I get the notice to fill these 2 slots. It's probably going to happen quick. So anyway, 2 slots left. Yes, we're constantly scouting ladies for my clients. So a few things you need to know. While my clients hire me for my taste and I am in the picky business, ultimately the final decision of who I set up with my clients, that's up to those guys. I have no control over it, okay? These are guys I've worked with, I'm not going to say who, but a judge that was on Shark Tank early on as a guest judge, so you don't know who it is. They own sports teams. They're on Netflix. And so these guys, they got it going on. And why they want me is they want me to put my stamp of approval on somebody. They want me to screen and vet and say, yes, I like her. She's got everything we're looking for. No, she's a gold digger. I don't, she's gorgeous, but she's just not got it going on enough. Or she treats me like shit, so she's going to treat you like shit. This is my job. So yes, and we're always scouting ladies for my guys. You guys can always write to me at Team Gina at ginahendrix.com too. Or as a lady, if you want to go, ginahendrix.com/women, you can see the women's page to fill out a profile. I'm glad you're single. Okay, so if you have questions, so here, I'll stay as long as you guys have questions, all right? But if it gets boring, if I get bored, then I'm leaving. That's how this works. So tell me your name, tell me your question. Tell me your name, tell me your question. But we're always looking for amazing women for my guys. And my guys range, my youngest client right now is, in case you haven't seen my TikTok videos, my youngest client right now is 25. He's like this cryptocurrency genius, and he also has this big production deal with one of the movies. Like, he's just on fire doing so many things, and he's got women that coming after him, but they're not always the right type of women, if you know what I mean. So big part is me being picky and screening and being a gatekeeper for my guys. Let's get into some questions. I understand you want dates. I know everybody's ready. Okay. Gimme, Gina. Gimme. Okay. Come on now. Give me some questions. All right. Okay. Mississippi avocado chips. Set me up with a nice guy. Okay. Come on. Bring their questions on. I'm Penny. Tips for online dating profile bio. Okay. Penny, I love this question. So here's what I say. I say that, you always want to make it specific to you. I think too many women are too afraid to say what they really want, to shine as bright as they really are. I find that ladies get into this mentality, and it's different for men than it is. So the advice I give for men is different than the advice I give for women when it comes to the dating profiles. I think men should kind of shoot fish in a barrel because the women are so picky and a lot of men don't get selected. So they kind of need to... It's a whole thing. But women, you guys have a lot of men coming at you. So in order to attract the best men, you need to shine bright, which means your pictures have to be great. And then you have to really amp up your accomplishments in your bio. And don't be afraid to do that. It is such a myth and such bullshit when people try to tell me that men are intimidated by how smart. There's this one girl on TikTok, her video, I love to watch some of these TikTok videos, and she talks about how she has done an experiment, and she put that she like basically played down her career. She was like a receptionist. She was a hostess at a restaurant, and she got so many more matches and likes. Well, yeah, but likes and matches mean nothing. It doesn't mean you're matching with like the most amazing men, for God's sakes. Matches, likes mean nothing. You want to connect with the very, very best elevated. Those guys care about what you do. Those guys care about how smart you are. Trust me, I've been doing this for a long time, so I know. They tell me more than I even want to know a lot of times. All right. Joy, let's see. Just bought your book? Oh, thank you. What kind of organizations should women join to meet great guys? I think it depends on what you're into. I think that I was just having this discussion with one of my young coaching client girls. By the way, I do have those 2 slots left tonight. I want to fill them. So you get $300 off tonight, and then I am done. And the fall session is locked and loaded, and we start in September. The link is posted here somewhere. The code word is TikTok, all caps, and you get $300 off. So I just had this conversation with her because her grandmother tells her, I want you to get off the dating apps, and I want you to meet a nice man at church. Okay. But that's not always easy either. So first of all, I think the dating apps, if you're doing it right, is a phenomenal resource. In terms of organizations, I think it's not a bad idea to try to get on the board or be somehow active in art foundations, philanthropic foundations. So anything you're passionate about, because you don't want to join an organization if you're not passionate about it, right? You've got to talk the talk and walk the walk. So if you want to learn about investing, join organizations for that. If you want to learn about cryptocurrency, join organizations for that. Philanthropic things where you can become a member, pay some money, get on the board, become a member. Be active in these things, because a lot of my guys are very philanthropic, and they're usually always into the arts. Sometimes they're into animal charities, sometimes they're into children's charities. But this is a great way to surround yourself with these kind of guys. All right, Crystal, modern ways for women to drop a handkerchief. Let them know I'm interested. So in person, I mean, I think, I've said to people, when people say to me, I want to meet people in real life, I say, well, you better get damn friendly. All right. You better get very friendly and chatty. And because these guys these days, couple things, right? The Me Too movement makes them a little fearful to say or do the wrong things, especially this day and age. Thank you, Mindy, for my rose. Keep the roses coming. And please share this TikTok, this live, because I'd love to be surprised when I ended this that I hit 100,000 followers. I'm so close. So help me do that tonight, will you? And I'll do something special for you. I don't know what that will be. Ooh, keep the roses coming. Thank you. That's so fun. Anyway, so where was I? Somebody's going to have to remind me where I was, because I go off on these tangents. How do you know you're interested? Okay, get chatty. So if you're standing next to a guy like at a Starbucks and you think he's cute, well, first of all, what I always do is I look at the hand. Now, they're not always wearing wedding bands, but a lot of times they are. So if you see a cute guy, first thing is you want to look at his hand. Is he married? Okay. No, not wearing a wedding ring? Okay, then fair game. May or may not be. So I would say compliment him. Just say, oh, I like those shoes, or that's a great haircut. I mean, anything. You got to be willing, if you want to meet him in real life, to open the door. Now, what they do with that is up to them. But I think, you miss so many opportunities by just, this one woman, she was like, came to me and she's frustrated about dating. And I said, well, like if you had a guy stand next to you at the supermarket or at Starbucks, would you say anything? No, Gina, I would never say anything to him. And I'm like, okay, well, then you're going to miss a lot of opportunities, because I think more men these days, the ones that will so easily come up to you, keep in mind, ladies, those guys approach a lot of ladies. They do it they're good at it, they're smooth at it. And if they're good at it and smooth at it, there is a reason, all right? So if don't wait for him to make the move. You can make the move. Now, I wouldn't say offer your number, all right? No, because if he's single and he's interested, he will ask for your number. He will not let it go by. Now, I'm also going to give you another little tip that you could do. So here's what because I was thinking of this early on when I was networking in my business. So I would introduce myself, but I wouldn't just say, hi, I'm Gina. I'd say, hi, I'm Gina Hendrix. And you say your first and your last name. And that way, if they're interested, people love to go and look people up on Instagram or LinkedIn. And that's another good thing. So when you introduce yourself to somebody and you're interested, don't just give them your first name. Give them your first and your last name so that if they're interested, they can track you down. Okay? Okay, moving on to the next question. Keep the questions coming. I'm here for it. All right. What locations do you scout women from? Honestly, I follow the lead of my guys. Okay. So by the way, non-alcoholic, Zinfandel, rosé, free. I'm not even they don't pay me anything. I just love it. And I'm able to do non-alcoholic wine. I'm all for it. So this is what you'll see me drinking tonight is non-alcohol, because I've gotten on here before and made the mistake and it wasn't good. So it's non-alcoholic. So I highly recommend it. It's my favorite. Anyway, and nobody's paying me to say that. I wish they were, though. Bring it to me. Let's see here. Hold on. Let me scroll back to where we were. Hold on. Oh gosh, lots of questions, you guys, and I love it. So we scout women everywhere. I follow the lead of my guys. If they're in Paris, I'm scouting women in Paris. If they're in Ohio, I'm scouting women in Ohio. It just totally depends on where they are and where they tell me they want me to look for women for them. All right, Kristen again, 35. Thoughts on women my age dating older or younger men? I'd love to have kids. I would not waste my time on younger guys. I wouldn't even, if you're 35, depending on where you live, I wouldn't waste my time on guys right around your age. I know that women, this is a tough thing to talk about, but I know that women 35 to 40 who still want to have kids, you guys are just so like stuck to this idea of finding a guy right around your age. And because these guys tell me everything, listen, Gina's not making this stuff up. All right. I know it because they tell me, and they may say something differently publicly, but privately they tell me the truth. So guys 35 to 40, they know they have more time, and they know that women 35 to 40 don't have more time if they want to have kids, and they don't want to rush. Those guys don't want to rush. So if I were you and you really were serious about starting a family, and I'm not saying settle for some old dude, because there's hot dudes who are a little older and ready, and that's what I'd focus on. If I were racing the baby clock, okay, I would I've said this before, and I say this as a joke, even though it's kind of funny. I would toss my list in the garbage and toss my legs in the air. And the point of saying that is that, I'm saying it half joking, but you don't have time to waste. You don't have time to waste with younger guys hoping that they're going to be mature enough. And you don't have time to waste with guys right around your own age who know that they have more time than you do. Okay. And that is the inside scoop on that. All right. Yoli, I'm 44 with 2 kids and don't want more. He's 38, no kids, and says he's not. Ooh, no. I would not go there. I would not go there. I wouldn't touch a younger guy with a 10-foot pole if he's still open to having kids, especially if you can't or you won't. It's just too risky. It's too risky. All right. So if a woman is conversational and complimentary, I don't see a question there. Hey, Mika. Haley again. Okay. How to know if a man is not as high value as he tries to act like he is? Ooh, gosh, you got good questions, girl. Thank you. Okay. I'm just going to tell you how my guys do things. All right. So My guys do things like this. They make reservations at first-class restaurants. They will offer to pay for your Uber or your car or send a car for you. They're going to walk you to the valet. They're going to pay for your valet. They're going to have manners, sophisticated manners, you know? I mean, once in a while, sometimes they can be a little dumb, might talk too much if they're really excited, but usually they're, you know, I think what women have to realize, and I've heard this before, like women will be like, oh my gosh, such a turnoff. He talked about himself so much. Well, sometimes ladies, you have to remember, if a guy really likes you, he's nervous sometimes, even if he's a successful guy. If like you're like so phenomenal, he'll still get nervous. And he might say a lot because he's trying to impress you. But I would not label him as a narcissist on a first date. I would give him a few more chances, because a lot of times what I've learned, a real big thing actually that I've learned from matchmaking, is that they get nervous sometimes, especially if they really like you and they're just trying to impress you. They're not trying to be the center of attention. They're just trying to kind of brag to impress you. It's not always a bad thing. So I think that my guys, though, they're definitely going to be making the reservations. They're going to be, you know, picking really nice spots. They're not going to ask you on a hike on a first date or coffee or anything that's cheap or low end. So an affluent, like high value guy, who's really invested in a real relationship. Okay. I do find that coffee and hikes, because it's low effort on their part, it's low investment on their part, because a lot of times what you'll find is that they either date a ton of women and they're not serious about getting serious. Those are telltale signs. All right. Megan, oh wait, I got some more happening here. So sorry. Does acting indifferent about their financial status help, by making you more of a challenge? This is a really great question. Okay, I'm going to have to, I don't like to bullshit my answers, right? I'm going to really think about this. Does acting indifferent about their financial status help by making you more of a challenge? I think definitely anytime when I think the reason my guys hire me, and listen, you guys know, I'm not like, you know, the fanciest, you know, Bethany Frankel, perfect looking, you know, I'm not like that, you know. I'm funky, I'm super real, and I'm super down to earth. And I can tell you that is why my celebrities and my billionaires work with me and trust me, because I'm real. And so I think the more real and natural and authentic that you can be with these affluent, high profile men, the more that makes you extra, extra special. The women who have the, you know, Louboutin shoes and the, you know, Birkin bag and all that stuff. Now, listen, they'll date you while they're looking for the woman who's maybe not so outwardly obvious about wealth, you know. So yeah, I think the more humble you are and the less impressed with it you seem, the better off you'll be. Now, I will tell you guys a story time here. And again, reminding you guys, two things tonight. One is, I'd love it if you guys keep sharing this video, sharing my stuff so that I can hit 100,000. I'm so close. And the second thing is, I have 2 slots to fill for my Ladies Level Up Fall Session. And I'm giving you a $300 off tonight just for my TikTok people, because tomorrow it's going to be back to what it should have been from the beginning, $2,200. And right now it's $1,800, but tonight for this, it's $1,500, $300 off. So I can sell these last 2 spots and then be done with it. It starts in September. Okay. So much fun. Anyway, so I'm going to tell you a story, because this is how I was like too down to earth. This is before I was a matchmaker. I was a celebrity stylist. A lot of you guys know that. Some of you don't, but I was a celebrity stylist for 10 years and I got access to a lot of rock stars and movie stars. And that's how I dated them back then. These days, you know, I'm in a place where I'm not interested in dating my clients. If a billionaire or something shows up, I'd rather get his money and work with him as a client. That's way more important to me than like going bow chicka bow wow. What about me? So to those of you who ask me those questions, that's the answer to that. I am a businesswoman, but I wasn't back then. I was a stylist. And anyway, so I went on a date with Dwight Yoakam. Okay. And I loved Dwight Yoakam. You have to understand. I loved Dwight Yoakam. Like, he was my everything. He was like my everything. And a friend of mine knew that, and he was a producer. So he said, Gina, Dwight's looking for a stylist. I think I might can get you on the video to style him. I was like, are you kidding me? So anyway, so I became his stylist on his videos. And then when he was seeing somebody for a long period of time. And then when he got out of that relationship, he, on a Sunday morning, I get a phone call, okay? And it says, Gina? I'm like, yeah. He's like, Gina, it's Dwight. And okay, man, I've been working for him. He's never called me at home and on a Sunday morning. Come on. And I was like, come on, who is this? Like, I was serious. Like, I like what you see on TV. Like, come on, who is this? And he goes, no, Gina, it's Dwight. It's Dwight Yoakam. And I was like, yes. And anyway, long story short, he asked me to go, he wanted to take me out. And, I still blush when it's like one of the best things that ever happened to me, really. That and Brad Pitt being my neighbor and mowing his lawn without his shirt on. That's a whole nother thing. Remind me that for another live TikTok. Okay. And I brought him a beer and it was a whole thing. Anyway. So Dwight came over and he picked me up and we went riding on his motorcycle. Okay. And thing is, because I was so unseasoned really about, dating really sophisticated men. I was just making it up as I go along. I didn't know. And I busted his balls all day long. I was like so joking with him and I wouldn't stop joking. And I was just like not sexy. I was not really flirty. And, and he's a manly man. So in that instance, I was just not sophisticated enough. I was too down to earth. I thought insulting him would be like, he would appreciate that. No, he did not appreciate that. We remained friends and I remained his stylist, but that was the one and only date I got with him, unfortunately. Although he did buy me a gorgeous pair of cowboy boots that I still have and love. Okay. How long is too long of dating before marriage? I said, I wouldn't date anybody over a year without being engaged. I would not. In fact, I just did a Zoom with a girl today. And if you liked my Dwight Yoakam story, send me some roses because I love that story. Even if it was a little long-winded. So I talked to a girl today who was with a guy for 3 years. Thank you, Penny. Keep them coming. This girl dated a guy for 3 years and she said, finally, oh, you like my Dwight Yoakam story. Thank you. So finally her mother's friend took her aside and said, listen, you've dated this guy for 3 years and he has not asked you to marry him. It's not happening. So she confronted him, thank goodness. And turns out he had no plans to marry her. And she said she was so grateful that this woman took her aside because she said she didn't know before then that like really after it's gone on past a year. Because think about yourself. If you've dated a guy for a year, would you be dating him any longer if you didn't know if you wanted to marry him or not? Of course not. And same way with him. So I wouldn't date someone past a year, really. Okay, boy, these questions are rolling by. Thank you for my roses. I love them. Be in your feminine energy. Yep, I would agree with that. Absolutely. Okay, I've been broken up with several times by men because he's not good enough. What's the real deal? Well, the real deal would be I would have to know you better. Because that's it's different for every person, right? Are you a bitch? Are you a ball buster? Are you boring? Are you I don't know. I don't know what you are. You know what I mean? And you may not be anything. It might be that you're picking the wrong guys. So, but I think I could wing it and make things up, but I don't want to. That's not my style. I like to give you real answers. You can always book a call with me. You can go to, what do I have? thegreatmanhunt.com. If you go to thegreatmanhunt.com, I believe on there, you can book a call with me. Or my Koji link. Yep, my Koji, I forgot about that. The Koji link in my bio. That'll take you everywhere. That'll take you to my Amazon store. My necklace from my Amazon store. My glasses in my Amazon store. So the Koji link will take you a lot of places. Okay. But honestly, I could tell you probably after we talked, I just would need more details, you know? Okay. Code TikTok to get the $300 off to fill these last 2 spots. You have to do TikTok in all caps. And I think the link is in here. The link, yeah, sure. The Koji link will take you there too. Okay. Hold on. Do men sense if women have high standards? I mean, yeah, 100%. Listen, a man who is low end, low effort, he will put the pieces together very quickly by the boundaries you have in place. If you have boundaries in place, then this guy is going to be able to connect the dots very quickly on you having high standards. Okay? Yes. They will sense that. Because it's a self-respect thing, you know? So when you have self-respect and you're not accepting crumbs. You're not accepting just the same way. And we talked about this so I'm wrapping up my Level Up summer session right now. And we just had a conversation the other night in our group, and I bring on guest speakers, and it's really fun. And so this is the fall session. Take these 2 last spots, $300 off tonight. Anyway, but one of the things is the one girl in the group, she, predators also, the same way a man knows if you have standards, a man also, especially if he's a predator, knows if you don't have standards. He knows if you feel insecure. He knows if he can manipulate you, okay? So, she was doing some telltale things, making herself too available, asking him like, oh, when are we going to do the FaceTime? And he wasn't instigating any of this stuff. And I just had to talk straight to her and point it out that it's like, you got to let this one go. And it was the right decision. So yes, a man will know if you have high standards, just like a man knows if you don't have self-respect for yourself. All right. And it's based on the way you let people treat you. Okay. So let's see. Keep the question. Okay. Do you also work with, I know, you know what, Deli? I have had guys ask me this, and I've never gotten into that. I mean, I'm open-minded to it. So like, let's say a gay billionaire, multimillionaire, a gay celebrity came along and he wanted to hire me. Well, I would do it the same way I do it with my straight guys. I would start a new search for him, and we would start unearthing, and I would do my networking, and then all of a sudden I'd have another side of the business. But currently I've never had a gay client. So therefore I've never gone down that rabbit hole, but I'm totally open to it. 62 and dating again, that's not a problem. Not a problem. I'm helping women 65 get into relationships. In fact, one of the guest speakers, we had our graduation night last Monday night for my summer session for the Level Up ladies. And I brought Audrey on. If you've seen any of my videos, Audrey was 67 and got married for the very first time at 67. And her husband is adorable, and he's an artist, and she moved to Florida. She left LA. They moved to Florida. I mean, they're just adorable. And she looks better than she ever did when she was single. She looks phenomenal. So yeah, you can find love at any age. Absolutely. What concepts do you teach in your class? Well, listen, if you've gotten my book, The Great Manhunt, which is right there. So basically my group mirrors the book, but it's with me doing it with you. So first of all, I make sure that, sorry, I'm getting comfortable. So first of all, I make sure that your profile photos look the way they need to look. And sometimes that takes weeks, You get homework. I pick out outfits for you. I pick looks that you need to replicate. So we get your profile to a rock star level. And then we make sure the bio is calling the right guys in. Then a big part of it that I think most of you ladies overlook when you're not seeing success on the dating apps is you're not swiping on these right guys. You are looking at men and choosing them in all the right, for all the wrong reasons. And I try to teach you, my goal with this 8-week program with me is I try to teach you to level up to a rock star level in every way, and to raise your standards and really start pre-qualifying the way I do and cut through all the BS. You know what I mean? Hey, Mika. My bio clearly states I enjoy fine dining and dressing up. Why do some guys suggest coffee? Why? Because they're idiots, and because they have not read your bio, and because they do not care what you're saying. So that is a no-go. That is how you learn to now, weed him out, all right? Because he's already told you he's an idiot. There you go. Thank you, mister. Thank you. All right. How can I find affluent men outside of my city if I can't travel? Well, now is this a trick question? What do you want me to tell you how to have magic powers? I don't understand what you're saying. What do you mean you can't travel? Could you not travel? I mean, my mind is like, now it's like scrambled eggs, because I don't know even what to do with that. Like, if you cannot travel, how in the world are you going to actually end up dating a guy? Sorry, I'm fixing my hat. Dating a guy who's out of town. I can't get my head around this. Okay. You're going to have to tell me more. All right. If dating rich people, you necessarily wear branded clothes. I have no fucking idea what that means. All right. Okay. Hey, Kara. Kara is one of my favorite people. I've known her forever. You guys should go follow Kara. She has this cool, first of all, she's a lady boss. She's got this cool back brace thing that she created. She's just amazing. Yeah, well, but you can try. I know, okay, you're in a small town. So first of all, then I would say get on travel mode on Bumble. That's what I have a lot of my ladies been doing. And but you can travel, right? So let's say you connected with a guy that's outside of your small town. You guys could keep it going and get to a point where you meet in the middle. He comes to you, you go to him. I mean, that has to be part of the plan. If you literally cannot leave where you are, that's going to be a big challenge. Okay. You're incredible. I just thought, oh, that's so nice. You made my night. Dolly, will you give me a rose? I don't even know how you do that, to be honest with you. But I'll take a rose or a heart. Give me something. Because it's so fun to see that go by. You're so sweet. I try to keep it real. I try to keep it honest because that's just who I am. Oh, thank you. Thank you. All right. Big American man, you better be rich as hell because no young girl wants an old broke man. So now Mika has some offshoot conversation going on with big American badass guy. So I don't know what that's about. Oh, keep the hearts coming. Thank you. Thank you. Should you message more than one guy at once on the dating apps? Okay. So first of all, I wouldn't even say that you're messaging them. I call it cracking the door open. Okay. So should you crack the door? Let's rephrase the question. Should you crack the door open to a few more than just one guy? Yeah, I'd say you should, but I don't. But the worst thing when I look at you, when we're swiping, we're doing swipe sessions together and we're man shopping together, through Zoom every night, through my fall session, my summer session, whatever, level up stuff. So, and when I'm looking, the worst thing I can see in your inbox is when you have it cluttered with a bunch of junk, right? So you need to be able to pre-qualify hard and pre-qualify fast. So crack the door open to a few guys, like maybe 4 or 5 in 1 week. Preferably only on Bumble, the ones who extend the time. That's really what I like for my ladies to focus in on Bumble is only pay attention to those guys who have extended the time on Bumble because it separates the men from the boys. So many of you get hung up on getting likes and matches. Likes and matches mean absolutely nothing, okay? I cannot say that enough time. It's effort. Likes and matches is zero effort. Like, zero effort. The effort is when a guy says, hold up, lady on Bumble. I know you only have 24 hours to message me, but I want to give you more time because I really think you're hot stuff. And boom, he extends the time. Now that dude is in play. And I don't care if you match with 30 guys and only one extends the time. I'd rather you have one guy that seems to be, and sometimes even the extend guys fall flat. Who knows why? I think sometimes people are dating multiple people, which is okay. It's called dating. And maybe something started cooking with somebody else. It's okay. But I think to focus on the guys who extend the time is the way to play that. And I also think that when you're on other apps like Hinge, for example, again, the low effort stuff, I prefer to ignore and focus on those guys who have actually put an actual comment. Gee, it took so much effort to string 5-6 words together, but lady, you're worth it. Okay. And that's how I would encourage you to pre-qualify on Bumble. All right. I was going to say something else and it totally went out of my mind. Okay. So have a few cooking. Yes, but only a few at a time and then pre-qualify quickly. Because otherwise, when you fill up your inbox with a bunch of junk, you're going to be overwhelmed and you're never going to be able to sift through it. All right. And you may have a good guy in there that gets lost in the shuffle because, Jackass John is wasting your time. All right. You got to know how to pre-qualify. I want a nice man. Well, that's good. Hannah, you were saying something, but your message has now gone by. All right. How to dress if you want to date a rich man. Go to my Amazon store. I have looks put together and a bunch of things. Also, I have a whole style video that I did here on TikTok, just a couple videos back. And that is probably one of the best style TikTok videos that I've done. Go to that and check that out. No, you don't need to wear Prada, but you have to look good. Yeah, you're 100% right. That's exactly right. I work with curvy girls. I don't care. Gina Hendrix doesn't care, right? Curvy, straight, doesn't matter to me. I go on the marching orders of my guys. So if my guy says, Gina, she's too skinny. I want somebody curvy. Start looking for curvy. Gina, I want big boobs. I mean, I hate just looking for big boobs. That's kind of boring. It's so boring. And actually, you know what? I'm lucky. My guys lately, like that seemed to be more 15 years ago. But lately, no guys ever say, I want a woman with big boobs. They never say that anymore. And maybe it's because I'm working with younger guys and I don't think for some reason it seems to be as popular. Or maybe they just phrase it like curvy these days. So maybe it's just a terminology thing. I don't know. How many marriages have you? That's a great question, Sunny. God, at this point, I've been doing this since 2008. Some people go off my radar, but I do get a success bonus when people get married. So I've gotten, in 2008, and I only work with 7 to 8 clients. I don't know if you guys know that or not. I only work with 7 to 8 clients, so it's not like I work with the masses, but I've gotten like hundreds of people married, and probably thousands definitely into relationships, but maybe their goal wasn't marriage, this long-term dating or living together. But I do know when those success bonuses come rolling in because I love them. Okay. I live in a really small town on an island and the apps don't really have anyone. Then I would do travel mode, 100%. Are you kidding me? I'd get on travel mode. Okay. Hannah, I had to set, okay. You guys are having, conversations within conversations. Okay. So let's see here. Do you work with curvy girls? No, you don't need to wear Prada. Is it a turn off to quality men if you have a good job? Are you kidding me? Are you new here? It's quite the opposite, in fact. If a quality guy is authentically quality and not just like fronting or pretending. So if he is truly successful and truly looking for a partner and truly sees you for a potential partner, then it matters that you have a good job. Now, he doesn't want a woman who's so obsessed with her career that she's not going to have time for him. Who does? I hear that from women all the time. They don't want a man that doesn't have time to date them either. So, a good job, yes. A woman who's passionate about her career, yes. A woman who's just absolutely insane and too busy to date, that's so obvious. It's an obvious no-go, But the easiest way to say how to dress if you want a rich man, yes, you can go to my Amazon store and take a look around. Yes, you can look at my TikTok video, a couple videos back, and you can see. But the easiest thing is nothing too, this is just my own personal taste and style. I like classic looks. I like classic, sophisticated. I like looks that look timeless. I think outfits that look timeless is always going to be a winner. So anything that's too trendy, anything that looks a little tacky or sister wife. I see a lot of you ladies in these prairie dresses, this floral prairie dress, and it just, to me, screams sister wife. It definitely doesn't feel sophisticated and elevated, all right? A lot of you want to wear this gym attire, which is also fine if you want to throw in a nice dress, all right? And not too sexy, not too slutty. One of the big things, and again, I'm not an old fogey, right? I'm not. I'm pretty down with things. But when I go on to the Instagram, okay, now that is old. No. But when I go on Instagram and we're scouting women, if a girl, and I don't know why this is so popular, perhaps Kim Kardashian, but it's like she's just got, and even when some women upload photos for me, it's like they posted pictures of their ass and their ass and their ass. It's like, I can't, what am I going to do with that? That does not read classy or sophisticated. And sometimes I see the most classy, sophisticated women doing it, and I'm like, why? Do we have to put a religion in how that affects men's decisions? Well, I think the more you have in common with somebody, the better. I know my non-religious guys certainly don't want to date a girl who's, super religious, because they're looking for a partner long term, and they're looking for a partner that's going to be equally matched with them on all fronts, right? And so religion is a big part of it. So if you're religious, put that you're religious, so you attract a man that's going to be like-minded. If you're not, then you need to be focused on men who aren't. This old dude just asked, how can old men hook up with young girls? Oh, I see. So Mika, you took care of him, huh? That's good. Yep. And that would be Gina's answer. Said, here's the deal. Here's the deal, men. The bigger the age gap, the more money you need to have. It's just as simple as that, okay? I would love to man shop with you. Believe me, our swipe sessions and our man shopping is one of the most fun things we do. And I don't know, I haven't checked the computer, so I don't know if these last 2 spots are taken or not, but I have 2 slots left tonight, $300 off to get in on my fall session, my Level Up Your Love Life. And we do swipe sessions every Monday night. We're looking at men. I'm telling you how to understand what he's saying versus what he presents himself as saying. And a lot of times, 2 different things. This is what gets you in trouble, and this is why you waste a lot of your time. So we do man shopping. I read your messages. I tell you, send him to the cornfields. He's done. I think a lot of you ladies, 2 mistakes. I think you go on the apps and you create sort of a generic profile to try to attract everybody, but that won't help you. And I think that you also just have no idea really how to pre-qualify these guys correctly. Because how would you? You know what I mean? So this is a big thing what we focus on. Can't find your Amazon store in your profile. If you click the Koji link, it should, I'm 99, I bet you $100. Either it's in one of those circles or it's in the list. Just go back and look at it again. Okay. Okay, it's on her TikTok. Okay, good. Thanks, you guys. Can you help make a profile? Yeah, well, if you're in, especially if you get in the fall session, I'm doing it all for you. I used to just do, this is fake rosé, by the way, and it's delicious. So don't think I'm not drinking and TikToking. Made that mistake on Halloween and it got really ugly fast. Anyway, so I used to do just profile makeovers, and I have a YouTube channel where I've done some, and I'll probably do a few more. But for the YouTube channel, you know, I like to pick people who are really, really going to be an amazing transformation, you know. And then I was doing it for hire as well. But you know what? It's so time consuming. I think people think because I make it look easy, but it takes me weeks and weeks to do a profile makeover. So I kind of don't offer them outside of my coaching currently. Okay, let's see here. Well, shoot, can't find it. Well, so, okay, shoot, can't find my Amazon store? I don't know what to tell you. I have my moderator here. Maybe she can find my Amazon store and maybe she'll put the link in here. I don't know. We'll see. I'm in California. So I go between LA. I was in Venice for the last 6 years. So I still have a place in LA. And then I have a cabin in the mountains that I bought last November. And it's technically in the Angeles National Forest. And so I have these two places and I go back and forth. Are you taking meds? No, but I might need to. What would you suggest? Okay. Okay. Thank you, Susie. Thank you. Susie, you are just a sweet person, aren't you? Okay. Keep them coming. Here is the Amazon store. Thanks. Haley's going to throw it in. No, it's, I'm not going to say exactly where, but it's not Mammoth. Mammoth is a little far, so it's not quite to Mammoth. All right, I am going to fucking kick you out, chick. Or Haley, can you kick out Susie Cream Cheese? She's just annoying, and she's not contributing to the conversation. And this is my party, so if you want to come to my party, you can't show up like a bitch. You just got to get your ass out, all right? Sorry. All right, Mika, let's keep doing this. How can we register to be in your database? Do you take 25-year-olds? Of course I take 25-year-olds. 2 ways. You can just go to ginahendrix.com/women and then you can do a basic profile, which just really is basic, or you can fill out a premium and then you actually get on a Zoom with me and I fix your pictures and I make sure. I mean, I guess, you know, when people talk about a profile makeover, I don't think about it like this, but when you do a premium profile with me, yes, you kind of get your profile makeover, because almost every time I'm doing a Zoom, I'm also looking at your Instagram. I'm also looking at your dating apps. I'm looking at the profile you filled out for me, and I'm going through your pictures and I'm like, yeah, that's not good. You need to this, da, da, da. So I kind of do a profile makeover unofficial when you do a premium profile with me. So, okay. It isn't labeled the first circle. It's the first circle. Okay, thanks. I will fix that. Okay, she's muted. Okay, great. Thank you. Susie is muted. Okay, great. Susie was, and you know what? Susie's probably an old fat dude scratching his balls at home is probably the truth. Okay, how do you deal with a man who focuses only on religion or doesn't want to have, okay, hold on. Whoop, 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 whoop. How do you deal with a man who focuses only on religion or doesn't want to have a relationship with you? Well, I mean, here's the thing, D. I think another mistake people make is that why are you dating somebody that already annoys you? You know what I mean? Like, there's more fish on the sea. So, you know, I think so many times we start dating people and we want to, like, mold them to be somebody that's going to suit us, even if they show up in a way that doesn't suit us. And that's never going to happen. People are who they are. So if he's into religion, you're never going to change that. Only thing you can do is say, see you later. Okay. And if he doesn't want to have a relationship with you, awesome. You don't want to have a relationship with him anyway. He talks about religion and that's not what you're into. Cut the cord. All right. No problem, Mika. Any Muslim men in your database? Not at this moment. Well, men aren't really in my database. Women are in my database Men are my clients. But if you're asking if I have any active clients right now that are Muslim, no. But I have had some in the past, and you never know when one's going to show up. Walk us through the male client experience, then female. Well, so it's only men who are my male clients. Women are potential candidates for my guys. How about that? So I don't know what you're going to have to circle back to me with a more specific question, and I'm happy to answer it. I grew up in Pasadena and graduated at LMU. I feel like you have reached out to me before. You can always message me at Team Gina at ginahendrix.com as well. I had a client that was going to Dubai, but he was not like Muslim from Dubai. Okay, I didn't know that. Thought it was both. All right. Okay, so if anybody has any questions, time to ask them. Or I'm going to wrap it up. Normally I go about an hour, and there might be more questions, but it's been scrolling by so fast. So if you go and see the premium profile, it gives you all the details there. Let's see. Any clients on Vancouver Island? Not at the moment. What's a realistic age range for a 45-year-old single mom? I want a successful man. You know what? It matters how many kids you have and how old are the kids. And then it still varies from man to man. You are so sweet and great. Thanks for your feedback. I'm here to help you guys. You know, I love doing this. Lately, I've been doing lives every Wednesday night. Every Wednesday night, I've been doing them. I'll still be here. eHarmony. eHarmony. That's what I think. And I'm basing that on the feedback that I'm getting from my women who are on eHarmony. They're saying there's a lot of scammers these days on eHarmony, which is weird to me because I wouldn't necessarily think that there would be a lot of scammers on eHarmony, but that's what I'm being told. Also, Talkify. Susie probably worked for Talkify. They're really shitty, and whoever writes their copy makes them sound like you're getting matchmaking, and you're not getting matchmaking. You're getting a girl or a guy who might have been a barista at Starbucks last week, and today they're calling themselves a matchmaker at Talkify. All right, so that's what I think about that. Should we flat out say we are fun, dangerous, and expensive on our profiles? If you use the word expensive, somebody's going to think you're a prostitute, so I would not use that. And dangerous, you know, here's the thing. Men don't need any leadway for their minds to go to the gutter. I think the more elevated and sophisticated you can sound, even at 25, the more you're going to stand out and attract better men, you know? I mean, so many people want to focus on these fluffy prompts on the apps. It's like, why? You know, if you're there for if you're there for a substantial person, you need to show up like a substantial person. And those fluffy prompts are for people who are not terribly sophisticated or looking for somebody at a higher level. It's sort of like just an easy way to attract people and get a conversation started. But if you want next level people, then you've got to bump up in your prompts to create more an elevated vibe and more sophistication, you know? Mika's taken over. This is Mika's one woman show tonight. Yes, coffee dates. No go. Okay, so I don't know how if I've gotten to 100,000 followers yet. Probably not, but I'm so close. So share. I'm going to keep doing this for a little while. Let's see here. I can tell one of my favorite, I can tell a favorite matchmaking story if you want to hear that. One of my favorite matchmaking stories is a client who was in his 50s. He was divorced and he was like this tech guy. Huge famous tech guy, and he wanted to start another family. He's like, I have a beautiful family. I had a great marriage. It ran its course, but I want to do it all over again, Gina. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. And he told me what he was looking for, and I started going on my search. And I scouted this girl out, and I rarely do I scout live anymore. I like to scout online because I like to look into people's lives. Instagram is a great window into people's lives. I can see what they're up to, right? So I rarely these days scout live, but I was at an event and I just saw her and she just looked too perfect. She looked exactly like what he described. So I approached her And, it's funny because she was really sweet. And I didn't know she was single. I didn't know. I gave her my number. And then actually she blew me off. She blew me off twice. I followed up with, afterwards and texting her. And she blew me off. But I was like, no. Because that night when I saw her, I had a good feeling that this could be a good match. It was just a feeling. And so I didn't give up. And so I kept trying. And finally she wrote me back. And it turns out, she was 40 at the time, and she actually didn't even think she could get pregnant. She didn't think she could have kids because she'd been trying with a past boyfriend, so she didn't think she could. They start dating, and boom, a few months in, she gets pregnant. They have a beautiful child, and I think they've had 2 children now at this point. And so she found love at 40. She found love with a man who in his 50s wanted to do it all over again. And, and she didn't, and can you imagine if she hadn't called me back? Can you imagine if she hadn't called me back? So I think the lesson here is you can't slink away when you're rejected. You got to keep, if you want something, and I wanted her for my guy, I had to keep trying. And I was determined. So you can't let people, because sometimes you're catching people in a bad time. And I think also a big mistake I see women make on the dating apps is that they haven't heard back from a guy quickly in the messaging phase. They go, I'm going to unmatch him. And I'm like, why the hell would you want to unmatch with him? I mean, it serves no purpose. It's it doesn't cost you anything to keep him there. I think sometimes we feel like we're going to teach them a lesson, but they don't know. They're not even going to notice if you unmatch with them. They're not going to, so it costs you nothing just to keep them there, because a lot of time it's about timing. And maybe they matched with you, and then happened at the same time they matched with you, they were going on a second date with somebody. And then on that second date, they decided, oh, wow, I really like this person. So they want to give it a shot, which is why they're not getting back to you. Okay. So just, if they're in your inbox and you're interested in them, just leave them there. And just, even if you've exchanged a couple of messages and he goes off the radar, just leave him there. It doesn't cost you anything. So what's the harm? You know what I mean? I think unmatching is a little too overly dramatic. All right. So I'm going to wrap this up because we are at an hour. Yep. We're all at an hour. And let's see, if I'll take 2 more questions and then I'm going to wrap it up here. So if I have 2 more questions, I'm here. If not, we'll wrap it up. Oh gosh, there are a lot of things coming by. How do I find out more information on your program? All right. Haley's going to put in the link one more time. There's 2 spots left for my program. And tonight only, if you use the code TikTok, you get $300 off, and you get $300 off, which normally, so here's the deal. Normally the course is $2,200. Okay. But early sign up right now is $1,800. But tonight with $300 off, it's $1,500. So you get the $2,200 course for $1,500 tonight. And I filled up from my last TikTok. The ladies were like, which is amazing. And I only have 2 spots left. So TikTok in all caps. Haley's going to put the link in here for you guys. And then we start in September, and you get a one-on-one with me. So it's group coaching, but I don't do like most people. I think most people do group coaching like, here, read this stuff, watch these videos. That's not how it works. It's me and you one-on-one first, and I make sure I elevate you, and then it's group, but you get me live, and it's I'm literally your best friend for 8 weeks. Okay. So it's a game changer. All right. And I have 2 spots left. And if you want the $300 discount, you do that TikTok thing and you get in on it tonight. All right. I love this question that just came by. How do I pre-qualify my guys? Well, first of all, most of my guys come through referral, but not always, but most. I like it when they come through a referral because then somebody can vouch for them, right? But then if a guy didn't, and sometimes, they'll write to me and want to become a client. And, it's funny. I think they just assume, because most matchmakers are just so greedy, that they'll take anybody who wants to work with them. But I won't. I'm very different. I've turned down a 38-year-old billionaire in Texas who found me here on TikTok, but I just didn't feel like what he was looking for was aligned with what I do. Turned him down, and I'm sure nobody turns him down. Turned down another guy who was just so and I've never used this term before, but it was very suited. Gaslighting. He was very gaslighting, and he was a little bit older, and he hadn't even heard the term. And I said, "You are gaslighting," and I didn't want to work with him either. So I pre-qualify them in a few different ways. You know, I talk to them. I usually meet everybody in person. And they're going to review profiles, and I want to see the feedback. I want to see what they say about women. I want to see what they think about different women. And I'm sort of giving them a litmus test, whether they realize it or not. And I'm deciding if I want to work with them. I think they're used to thinking, let me decide if I want to hire this matchmaker. But what they don't realize is they usually want to hire me. I usually decide not to work with them. That's the success of my business, is because I'm so picky. And this is why the women love me and trust me, because I'm not in the business of like working with like gross rich dudes, old dudes, gross guys who have money and then just setting them up with a beautiful woman. I don't do that. That just doesn't work for who I am. I'm no saint. Believe me, I'm no saint. But I do have a lot of integrity, and I have a lovely business where my guys really love me and I love them, and my ladies love me. It's a love fest over here. And that's why I'm so protective of my business, and I only work with 7 to 8 guys. So there you go. That's the full story. Do you have to indicate in your bio if you are a U.S. citizen but born and raised in Europe? Do you have to indicate? You don't have to indicate that, but I do think saying sometimes, making yourself sound more worldly and sophisticated is definitely hands down more appealing to another worldly and sophisticated guy, So I would use all the tools in my toolbox. If I had a master's degree, I would say I have a master's degree. If I built my own company from the ground up, I would say I built my own company. And you want to say I'm looking for a man at my level, a man who's ready for a real relationship. I'm a Renaissance woman looking for a Renaissance man. That's another good thing to say. All right. Okay. Do you have any pro athlete male clients? Not at the moment. Not at the moment. That's just the easiest answer there. My glasses are so cute. They're cute, huh? Thank you so much. Aged, I'm getting hot and I'm getting tired. So I'm going to wrap this up. But remember, tonight only, and I might have just filled another one of my coaching slots. I got my computer over here, so I get the notification. So I think I may only have one slot left for my fall session. So take advantage of that $300 discount tonight. Okay, and the link is here, and the code word to get the $300 discount is TikTok all caps. Okay, I'm going to take 2 questions, and then I promise you I am done. All right. Okay, I'm 57, and I've been in a 26-year marriage, left for the oldest reason in the book. I'm worried because I'm a CEO and worried about my success. No. Listen, no. The more successful you are, the more successful men want you. But it's not that alone. You also have to look the part. So you have to make sure that your style looks right, that you've got it going on. You know what I mean? It can't be it has to be both things. You can't for a successful, eligible man looking for a real relationship. You can't just show up gorgeous either. You got to be smart and somewhat accomplished and passionate and have goals and interests. And you can't just show up smart and accomplished with passions and goals and interests. You got to have both for that kind of next level guy. You just do. And even if you're curvy, even if you're older, it doesn't matter. You can still pull your look together and still look phenomenal at whatever age, whatever size you are. All right. But you have to be a total package. All right. Okay. Let's see here. Gina, if we are currently in college, can we try to find a high value guy to date? I think I got this question last TikTok too, or last live I did. So the answer to that is absolutely. This is the time while you're in college to make smart choices of your partners, but I would focus on those guys that are going for their master's or their PhD or their doctorate. That's, if I were in college, I would focus on those type of men. And yeah, get a head start on it now, sister. Time flies. All right. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm hot. I'm tired. And I'm done. So remember, 2 things. Share. Help me get to 100,000. I'm so close. And if you want to write to me and ask me questions, it's teamgina@ginahendrix.com. Last but not least, you can take my last spot, my fall session tonight. and use the code TikTok. And the link is here somewhere, probably going to be posting it one last time. And you use TikTok all caps and you'll get the $300 discount. Okay. Thank you guys so much. I love doing this. I'm going to plan on doing this every Wednesday night. Make sure you always RSVP when I say I have a live event in my bio, because that way it'll remind you when I go live. You'll get some sort of ping on your phone. All right. And then you won't miss me. I'll talk to you guys later. You've been great. Thank you so much, everybody.